Welcome to Portsmouth Point Friday Review. We're talking about Captain America Civil War.
So we saw Civil War.
We did. We liked it a lot.
It was real good,
It was
wasn't
really
it?
good.
It was real good.
The Russo brothers have really kept going the expectation that everyone had from Winter Soldier,
Yeah.
and I
yeah.
think kind of surpassed it.
Yeah, because the action sequences were far more realistic than a lot of the other films, like The Winter Soldier. And that
Not
was something
realistic
like,
in terms of, well, that's really happening, but just
Oh,
in
no,
the
They-
immersive,
like it
and that
feels
they
more
feel a
real.
bit more,
Yeah.
They just have the knack for making things feel a bit more.
Like when you see someone hit with the shield, you're like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it's really important that they've got that, because now that Joss Whedon's kind of bugged out after Avengers 2, the Marvel guys really need some directors who understand and can make these movies, and I think this is evidence of that.
Yeah, and I think that something that this shows is their understanding of the characters
Very much
and
so,
of
yeah.
their development through their movies so far, and then what they.
I think Marvel's strength generally, sort of on the blockbuster landscape, is that they understand that. I think where this succeeds, where Batman vs Superman failed, is that trying to make a superhero movie that's like thematically really important, that's trying to say really important things and communicate messages, is always kind of difficult, because there has to be at least 20 minutes of people punching each other and breaking things. So I think the angle that they go for is just characterizing the hell out of all of the players, and then just watching them play off each other serves as the entertainment.
Whereas with DC, it's just they really show a theme, and then there's a fight scene which doesn't
Yeah,
really fit
and there's a
the
kind of dissonance.
characterization.
Whereas, I mean, there's definitely things that you can read into Captain America Civil War about, like libertarianism and whether or not government should control the degree to which government should control things. But that's all kind of background to the character.
And yeah, the most
interaction.
interesting part of it, you were saying that like the first hour is mostly just character interaction.
It's just talking, yeah.
Between.
And because they're all so broad and arch, every conversation and interaction is interesting and kind of exciting, because you know these characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think we're getting to the point with these films where if you're not on board, if you're not caught up and up to speed with everything that's going on, they'll just be incomprehensible.
But I think this still had enough spectacle for it to be interesting. I think that there was enough. The fight scenes were interesting enough, especially the airport scene. Just like you'd pay to watch that, because it is just.
And it's possible that they're popular enough now that even people who haven't been really clued into them from the start have an idea of what Iron Man's about and what Captain America is about, and can quickly grasp that the guy who's really tiny is Ant-Man, and that's all there is to his character.
What do you think of the new Spider-Man?
I think he's really good.
We need to see more of him, though.
Yeah,
before we can
I've
make
never
judgment.
cared much about Spider-Man, and I think having him, I think he's a really good addition to have to their lineup of characters, because
People like
they're
him.
all similar ages.
Oh,
I think having a really young voice is just
And he
a
was
bit of
actually played
mix.
by someone who's young this time as well.
Yeah.
Like Tom Holland's only 19 years old.
Yeah,
whereas Andrew
instead.
Garfield was like 32 when he took the role.
Yeah.
So
Um,
actually felt like he was in high school, and he felt like he was
mm.
a kid. So that was,
I've
that was
seen
good.
some people have said that it's a really inspired move to make him talk like he's from Queens, like he's actually a New Yorker, because he's always been from New York, but
Yeah.
he's always been,
Just American.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing that was good as well, because Andrew Garfield is British, and obviously he was just doing an American accent, whereas
Yeah.
Tom Holland is also British, but
He's clearly thought about,
the accent
Yeah.
he's doing, which was good. Some good stuff.
Yeah. I always said that, because I enjoy the Marvel movies because I'm a child and I can't function in the adult world,
Yeah.
but I've always said that once we reach Civil War, I'll be happy if Civil War is good. I don't expect the rest of the Marvel movies to be good, because I feel like they have to crack under their own weight at some point, but
No, you want them to be
seeing
good.
how good this is,
Yeah.
I think it sets a
I think
it's the opportunity, because I liked watching a blockbuster summer movie and there not being a bad guy, it just being two sides.
Because the main villain in some ways was just a man who was orchestrating them to fight each
Yeah.
other. And that was the one thing I liked, especially, was that it didn't do a Batman vs Superman. There wasn't like a big doomsday they had to fight at the end.
Yeah.
In the end, they just had to fight each other, which
And I
was
think
far better.
The fact they immense popularity and immense like financial viability of the Marvel movies means that they can do things with story that other movies just can't. Like if you came to a studio and said, I have this film and there's no bad guy, it's a lot harder to sell because you've got to characterize two sides to the point where neither is
but that we've got so much
identifiable.
Like history with the Marvel Universe that we feel...
You can now begin to play with the form a bit more.
And I think where they left it was good, where the teams are still sort of split. That was a good way to leave it because it means that they can still build on it.
They can still keep those relationships.
Yeah, they weren't just all...
We don't have to reset the
buddies at the end, which was interesting.
I think it's almost a shame that the continuing slate of Marvel movies seems to be new characters. But I hope that they work in kind of like an Ant-Man. They just keep the...
Disagree, because I think almost certainly... Well, Iron Man's already confirmed to be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I think almost certainly Captain America will be in Black Panther. And I think what we're going to be having is you'll have all these new solo movies, but you'll be having all of these old characters coming along. I mean, Doctor Strange, we're not going to get that.
Yeah.
But I think actually the rest of...
Yeah, it's all right to have one. He's always, from what I know, I don't really know much, but it seems like he's a character that stands apart from everyone.
And I mean, Hulk's going to be in Thor Ragnarok. So I think actually we're seeing all these new solo movies coming about, but actually you're going to have all these old, well-loved characters coming along in them. So we're going to have a lot more of that like back and forth that we've seen from Civil War. Because I think the Marvel Universe are getting to the point where they know that that's what they're good at, and that's what they're going to continue to do.
Yeah. Nice. See Captain America: Civil War if you haven't, or don't.